Alright guys, I'm doing a video because it seems that there's not enough about this topic at all. I think I only saw like one or two, like a couple videos about this, but this is basically if you can use a Gen 4 slide from a Glock on a Gen 3. The answer is yes. Yes, you can. Right here we have my Glock 19, and it's a Gen 4, but you can tell it's a Gen 3 frame by the magazine release. Obviously, you could tell. You know, I searched this a bunch of times and only found, a couple guys who did it. Not too much of an explanation or, review of the functionality or, how well it works. And you're going to ask yourself, why would you do this? Why would you want a Gen 4 upper on a Gen 3 lower? On the frame. To be honest, I don't know what to tell you. The way mine came about is I have a polymer 80 frame for a Glock 17, and what happened was I bought it from this guy. I wasn't paying attention, and it turned out to be a Gen 4 upper. And I was like, you know what? I can't just go back to this guy and say, hey, can you return it? That's not how things work. So basically, I took my Gen 3 slide off. I sold that for the same amount that I bought this one for. And this one came with, hold up, let me make sure I could verify with you guys. There's no magazine. There's nothing in here. It's safe. See? It's safe. I sold this one. They came with Trigicon HDs, and I was like, you know what? My slide didn't even have that, so I was like, you know what? I'm going to try to put this Gen 4 on my Gen 3 frame. And there's only one thing I had to buy, and that was, let me go ahead and show it to you. That was this, right here. I don't know if you guys can see it. This is an adapter for the guide rod. So you could use a Gen 3 guide rod in a Gen 4 frame. Because as you know, the hole right here at the bottom is way bigger than the Gen 3. So that's the only thing I had to buy. I kept my Gen 3 guide rod just for this reason. And let me go ahead and show you guys the frame. So you guys might think, oh, it's going to be difficult, it's going to be hard, it's going to take a lot of work. No, it's not. The only thing I had to do was I already had a Dremel. I had the sanding, whatever you call, cylinder on it. And it wasn't too far off. The Gen 3s, I think I have a Gen 3 right here. Let me go ahead and compare it. Clear. There's nothing in there. Nothing in here. Let me go ahead and compare this. So here's a Gen 3. Alright. If you guys can see that. And here's when I modified it. You guys can see that? So if you see here, on the Gen 3, it's kind of like a wall, because, this is where it would end up stopping. It's a lot smaller. Alright, so all I had to do is I just took my Dremel, I got rid of this wall. I made sure it was nice, fine, and smooth. And once I got rid of those, on the little edges of these, there's like little ridges here. Smooth those out on both sides. And if you guys could see, that was the only difference. And now I could put a Gen 4 upper and slide assembly onto my Gen 3 frame. See? And it works beautifully. I've put around a couple thousand rounds already, and it's no different. It's accurate. You'll hit whatever you're shooting at. It functions almost the same. It's just a Gen 4. The functionality of it, there's no problems, no failure to feed, no issues, no nothing. Nothing at all. So, you know, that's something that you'd want to keep in mind. And then you're going to ask yourself, well, once you do that, can you put a Gen 3 frame back on it? Well, let's find out. Yes. Yes, you can. Yep, you're going to have a little gap because that's what the Gen 4 frames would look like, right? But yes, it will work. And I've tried it, and it's worked. See? Alright. Put this back together. So, you know, as far as, you know, if it keeps its value or not, I have no intentions of selling this. This is mine. This is what I carry. This is what I'll use. You know, but if you're in a situation where somehow you have a Gen 4 upper and a Gen 3 lower, this works. Just to let you know. See? Gen 3 guide rod, this works amazingly. It works perfectly fine. So, as far as the tolerances and whatnot, if it, you know, keeps its, you know, whatever you want to call it, how durable it is. Like I said, I've shot a couple thousand rounds already through this. Not the Gen 3, the Gen 4 upper. So I don't know what you want to call this. A Gen 3.5, Gen 4. I don't know what you want to call it. Hybrid, you know, that could work. Call it a hybrid. But it works. So I'll emphasize it again. It works. So I just want to make that video just because I believe there's not enough out there. And there's a lot of people, you know, trying to make something different or do something tricky or whatnot. Or just do something, you know, unique. That's, you know, there's not a lot of Glocks out there like this. Not that I know of personally. But it's awesome. It works great. So if you guys have any other questions or comments or whatever, just leave a comment or send me a message if you have any questions about my Glock in particular, about, you know, what kind of trigger that is, or my internals or setup, whatever you want. I got other Glocks, you know, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to do a review on that too. Like my Glock 19L, I could do a review on that. But yeah, Gen 4 upper for Glock 19 will work the Gen 3 frame. And vice versa, this does work for the Glock 17 and, you know, Gen 3 and Gen 4. It works. I've done it because I had the Polymer 80 and it works. So that's all I got to say. So thanks for watching.
Stand by, go! Ready. Stand by, go!